connecting community globally. Help me welcome with your listening ear, Regina Gordon. Regina is a woman on a mission. Something really significant happened to Regina in 1994, which changed the trajectory of her life. Sometimes in a challenging way. Can I say that?
That is correct.
And sometimes in a more powerful way than I think she even imagined. She was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. Regina Gordon.
Thank you. The journey to becoming a purple snowflake is long and arduous. It takes you through many parts of the body, mind, and soul. It cuts, slices, ravages. It destroys. It even kills. The journey to becoming, why are we on this journey? No one will ever know, not even us. We hit many roads of lumps, bumps, and pains unknowingly. We see many people who tell us what is wrong. They say you have a mysterious disease. We get looked at as if we are plagued. We are. The mysterious disease is called sarcoidosis. We slide into the abyss of pulmonologists, dermatologists, neurologists, and cardiologists. But do they really know? We get thrown into the world of medication, Remicade, methotrexate, Plaquenil, prednisone. But do they help? Can there be a cure for this devastating journey? Talking, walking, working, waiting endlessly. Raising awareness for that glorious cure. We wear purple to represent the regal fight against sarcoidosis. The symbol, a snowflake. Individuality. No one is the same. We are different. Awaiting for this mysterious disease to disseminate, we are purple snowflakes, Sarc warriors, which is our journey of becoming. We continue to grow limp and fatigue on a daily basis, waiting for this journey to end. In the meantime, we stand tall with all Sarc warriors, alongside the scientists, doctors, and the researchers who are working towards a magical cure. We reach out to others with this mysterious disease. We cry, we share, we support, we teach, we love, we wait, we pray. We continue to fight the fight. Sarcoidosis is our journey to becoming a purple snowflake. Sarcoidosis is an inflammatory autoimmune disease that's very systemic. And what I mean by systemic is it attacks every part of your body. Me and my body, sarcoidosis has attacked my lungs, my lymph nodes, my skin, and right now we're in the throes of trying to find out what else it has attacked. We don't know yet, and I will be visiting my doctors real soon to find out.
How was it diagnosed in you?
It was diagnosed when I thought I was dying. I called my parents. I said, I'm dying. They came and got me, took me to the ER. They did an x-ray of my chest. Mm-hmm. They saw that I had pneumonia. So they said they were admit me into the hospital. And then I turned around and I looked at the nurse because she was looking really funny. I'm like, can you tell me what else is going on? She said, oh, we will just let you know and talk to the doctor tomorrow. So we're just going to admit you right now.
And at that point, you knew it was something.
At that point,
right.
I knew something was not right.
Right.
At that point. Well, as I was in the hospital, I think I was in the hospital for about 6 days. Probably on the third day, I felt really well because they had me on IVs of antibiotics and saline solutions and whatever else you can think of. And that third day, I was feeling really well. That third day, they had already did a bunch of testing for me within those 3 days. So that third day, they told me they thought I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a type of deadly cancer. And let me tell you what, my heart sunk. And for 2 days, I cried because I just knew I was dying. But within those 2 days while I was crying, the doctors were still testing me and testing every part of my body that they could possibly find a test.
And they thought
out.
it was cancer because, as you shared with me, sarcoidosis looks like cancer.
It does. It is granulomas is how they find cancer. It is also how they find sarcoidosis. And you have to be really careful when you're looking at that because you can be diagnosed incorrectly.
How did they specifically know that it was that other than something else? Was there a specific test?
Yes.
They
did a biopsy of my lung and they did a biopsy of my lymph node. And by the end of the week, it was confirmed that I have sarcoidosis, which to me still didn't tell me much.
Right.
So I'm like,
what is... fix me, huh?
Right. I'm like, what is sarcoidosis? And they said, well, it is a mysterious disease that is unknown, and you will live with it for the rest of your life. And that was it. Exactly. But because of who I am, I had to get out there and start looking. I had to be an advocate for myself to find the correct care for me because I was not ready to let go. I love my family. I love doing family things. I wanted to live. And so in 2016 is when I discovered the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research. And after that, I started my support group.
Well, before we get there, I want to go back to how does this sarcoidosis, how does it affect you? How does it affect an individual?
It, everybody is different.
Okay.
With me, it has decreased my stamina for life, which means like I don't do a lot of social things anymore. It has affected me in that way. It has it's so hard to explain because it is just, I can't think of the word that I want to say.
From our mother's perspective, one of the things I've noticed is that because she still gets so many symptoms that she doesn't know what's causing it and what's going on, and her energy level is low a lot, so she has to get lots of rest. She's always been an active person. She still is a very active person, and she's just one of those people that's just a go-getter. In her job, in everything that she does in life, she's going to do the very best she can. And that was frustrating. It was frustrating for me as her mom to watch her not have the energy level that she has always had. And to have all these different things. For the one here recently was her eyes. You know, she was having problems with her eyes and not being able to see. And I hadn't driven in 20 years on the highway because my husband had passed and he'd always driven. So I was on the highway taking her to the Cleveland Clinic. And it was like, oh my God. I said, Lord, I know you're going to get me there. So we got there.
Wow.
And she was holding onto my arm, because she really couldn't see. In her eyes, she was having so many problems. So we were thinking, well, maybe now she has sarcoidosis in her eyes. Because we have met people who have it in their heart, who have it in their eyes. One of the people that's in her support group has it in her eyes. She's blind in one eye. In your brain. anywhere. You don't know. So anything that comes up, you've really got to check it to find out what that is.
And there's no way to know when it travels from one part of your body to the other.
The only way
it's a wait and play game.
The only way to know that is if you can get your insurance to pay for a PET scan, which is a PET scan.
Okay. Go ahead, keep going.
It is a PET scan, but your insurance usually want to knock that down because it's very expensive.
Okay.
And that's one of the things I plan on asking my doctors when I go to Cleveland is to get me a PET scan, because I really want to know where all of my sarcoidosis is. I'm sure that it's all over my body, because this past year I was on methotrexate. The medicine made my I have lesions around my mouth, made the lesions go away. But as I got sicker and sicker this year, the lesions came back, and so I talked with my dermatologist, who's well versed in sarcoidosis.
Keep going.
And he said the next step will probably be Remicade. He saw that the lesions have come back around my mouth area and that I was really sick. He is also going to be my point person here in Fort Wayne because he's well known in sarcoidosis.
The information that you shared with me talks a little bit about who it affects. And what I read was that it's most common in the African American communities. Is that correct today also?
That is not correct today. It knows no color, no race. It is affecting everyone. They say it affects people between the ages of 20 and 40, but I don't even think it knows an age anymore.
Now they can diagnose, because before they couldn't diagnose, and I think what they're seeing now is through these various diagnoses that it's been sarcoidosis all the time with some of these patients. So now they're able to do more research. And so one of Regina's goals is to get more awareness out into the community, and that also that for doctors to be more aware that some of these symptoms that they're seeing in their patients, it could be sarcoidosis, and they're not identifying it. And for a long time, that was what was happening with Regina. They were thinking it was all kinds of things, but for a long time, we think that that's what she had all along. Now she has progressed, I would say, into what they call the advanced stages from some of the research.
Oh, can you talk about that? Are there the stages that it goes through?
Well, for the lungs, there's 4 different stages. Actually, there's 5 stages. The first stage is stage 0, which is no sarcoidosis. Is where we would all like to be at. Yeah. There's stage 2, which is lymphadenopathy, which is it presents itself in your lymph nodes and in your lung tissue. I'm going to go back one, because there's stage 1.
Okay.
Which are the granulomas, which are present in the lymph nodes. Then there's stage 2, which involves the lungs, which is pulmonary. That is the stage that I am in. I am at stage 2. And just recently I had more tests done, and they found out that I have more granulomas in my chest area and in my lungs. That's the reason I'm having my appointments in July at the Cleveland Clinic.
And does medication, is that what actually helps you to live comfortably?
Yes. One of the medications that they use for when they start off is prednisone.
Okay.
Well, as a result of prednisone, I have now become a diabetic, because I was treating one condition and it led to high blood sugars, which ultimately claimed my life for being a diabetic, which, was kind of heartbreaking to know that. And they also believe that even with that, with all the prednisone that I've taken, it also probably, because it causes high blood sugars, is why I had the eye problems as well too. The eye problems are called uveitis, and I do have a trace of it in my eyes. The other medication that they use is methotrexate. Methotrexate is a cancer treating drug. It's one of the milder forms of it. Then there's also Plaquenil, and Plaquenil is used for skin sarc. And what it does is it reduces the bruising that you get, the lesions that you get, and the nodules that you get up under your skin that turns your skin red. Now, I've been through all of that, and thank God the Plaquenil has been a lifesaver for me because it has kept most of that down. Now, I'm on a new drug that I started last year. It's called Arava. The generic name is leflutamide, and I honestly think that it has not done anything for me. So,
have the doctors looked at it and said it's working, or
they will know when I go in July.
I see. Is there a medical, or what am I trying to say? Is there a predisposition for a genetic predisposition for this?
They're finding that I think it's both, because there's some families, a whole list of families who all have sarcoid, so it could be hereditary. But I know mine is environmental.
You think so?
Yes, I do. And I can almost pinpoint where I came from.
Would you like to share that?
Where I was working back in 1992, they were doing some renovation in the building. And in that renovation, they hit upon something that they call asbestos. Asbestos is, how would you explain asbestos?
It's dangerous to inhale.
Yes. It causes cancer a lot of times, they found in people. And one of the things I think they're looking at, there could be you could have a predisposition and also an environmental that can create it, and the sarcoidosis, but they don't really know for sure. But I think
so. Regina, what you're saying is it comes together when this happens, and this happens at just the right time. That opens the environment for it.
Yes, that's horrible when you think about it.
Because if that's the case, we never know where we are and what we're doing.
Exactly.
Right? Are there children who have this?
There are children who do have it, but I don't know of any.
Okay.
So.
All right, power woman. So now, what is it that we can do to help this journey of sarcoidosis? How can we help you? And then now talk about your support group and where you are with your support group. What is it you want from us, the community?
What I'd like for the community is engage with me. And so that I can take that, so we can also engage with others, because people need to know about sarcoidosis. More people are dying from this disease than let on. I can already tell you, I know a handful of people who have already passed away, and they're friends of mine on Facebook.
So have they passed away from this?
Yes.
Or the complications that come with it?
The complications that come with it. Like, for instance, one lady who just recently passed away, she had complications with her lungs. And with that, some people get lung transplants, and then some people can't get lung transplants because they're too far
advanced
in their disease. And not only that, people who have sarcoid, and this is a bummer, we can't even donate our organs or donate blood or donate anything to help others. It's kind of sad. But I would like for the community to get engaged, to have me come and speak, so that they can understand the condition. And with that, maybe I can get more people to come out and join the support group, join the fight of making the fight for sarcoidosis awareness.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that when Regina, when she was first diagnosed, she felt like she didn't have anyone to talk to. And that's one of the reasons she wanted to create the support group. It's like, people just don't understand. They think I'm out of my mind. And that's one of the things we hear from people who do come is like, there, you're always complaining. You got this wrong. You got that wrong. What? Stop it, So it's like they're misunderstood because the disease doesn't have a straight path. It goes wherever it wants to go. And it comes and it goes. And she may have bruises this month and she may not have next month. Next month she may be having those granulomas in her nose or whatever and different things. And but it's hard to share that with other people because they think you're just complaining. Every time I hear you, you're going, oh, woe is me. But those are, it's a safe place for you to come and share what's going on with you.
Now, what you're talking about is the support group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When does the support group take place?
The support group is held at the Allen County Public Library.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
On the second floor in the Business and Technology Meeting Room every third Saturday from 1 to 2:30.
Okay.
You also have a website, and she does blogging too.
Go ahead, support.
Yeah, so you can share your website, and you're on Facebook. The support group.
I do have a website. I have a Facebook page. I also do some blogging, and I'm also, which I am so proud of this, I am one of 2 Indiana ambassadors for the state of Indiana for the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research.
Tell me, what does that mean?
Yay.
What that means is that if there's someone who's in need, who needs someone to talk to, we can be there for you. We want to let you know that you are not alone.
How'd you get that position, Regina?
As a result of starting my support group,
okay,
because I had contacted the foundation and I wanted to know how to start a support group, so they put me in contact with one of the other, back then an ambassador, and so she was my mentor, and so I got it together. And in fact, it was done as a class project, so we got it together, and after a couple of years, I got an email from one of the ladies at the foundation and asked me if I would like to become an ambassador and would I like to attend training this weekend. It was last year in 2018 in February.
At the last minute, huh?
Yes. And I was real sick then as well. But I said yes. So I went. And I learned a lot. I mean, it was probably one of the best things I've ever done. So then this year, it became even bigger. I decided I wanted to be an ambassador again, so we had to reapply. So this year, we went to Bethesda, Maryland for our training. And the third day of that training, we got to go to the Capitol and go talk to all of our representatives about our condition, which happened to be on Rare Disease Week in February.
Wow.
And then in April, we had another event that we did. It was a worldwide event where we illuminated our cities, and within our cities, we asked companies to light up purple on April 13th. I did that this year. I was still sick.
Wow.
But that's just who I am, Even all this time that I've been ill, I went back to college and got 2 degrees.
You work full time?
I work full time, and I actually am wanting to start a third degree. I've already started it, but I had to take a break because I become very ill this year. So
has there ever been a time that you've been in remission, or that nothing has inflamed in your body?
In 2017, I was told that I was in remission.
What does that feel like?
Oh, I feel wonderful. You still have to take the medications, but I was great. I was happy. I was jumping all over the place, letting everybody know, hey, I'm in remission.
Right.
January 2018, I believe, was when I came out of remission. I was only in remission. That was just a short period of time.
The stress bring it on? What brought on?
Stress can bring on sarcoid. And actually, if you ask me, it has a mind of its own.
Okay.
Whenever it wants to come out of hiding, it's going to do its thing.
One thing you shared with me is that it's a medical mystery. Is that the mystery part of it? Why do they consider it a medical mystery?
I think it's because they don't know how it really gets started. How to actually find it. Because like me, mine was found on accident, all because I had pneumonia. And then they don't know what else it affects, what else it will attack. It's just like a few years ago, I had my gallbladder removed, and that guy and the doctor said, oh my gosh, your gallbladder was looking horrible. Well, I've never had gallstones or anything like that, but I had gallbladder issues. And what I found out later is that your gallbladder is one of the first things to go when you have sarcoidosis. Yes.
So it sounds like there needs to be much more education
and research
about how it affects. Even today, the research, yes, but education.
Yes.
So how can anyone get in touch with you that may even have questions?
They can find me on my Facebook page. It is www.facebook.com/sarcoidosis Fort Wayne.
Spell it for us, sweetie.
SARCOIDOSIS Fort Wayne, FORTWAYNE. And sarcoidosis Fort Wayne is all one word.
Okay.
Or they can reach me at sarcoidosisfortwayne@gmail.com.
So what does the future look like for you? Tell me, what is your vision for the future?
My vision is, I've already been telling my story. I want to continue to tell that story.
Can I back up some?
Yes.
I want to back up because you told me this hilarious story about driving. And I said, you get on the freeway and drive? And you said, yes. About you and your mom driving down.
Oh, let me tell you the story.
Yeah, please tell us the story. Were you in remission when this happened?
This was 2 years ago. We took a trip that I normally take with my brother. My brother, who's now passed away, was my everyday support person where we talked every morning. But anyway, we took a trip. We were going down to see my baby brother down in Jessup, Georgia. So we, I still can't. I still think it's real funny, Mom.
Yeah.
So on our leg down, it was great. It was wonderful. We had a great time. On our leg back, we had to come up 75. 75 had you remember? Had an alternate route because they were doing work on the main 75. So we went on the old 75. And let me tell you what, it was in the mountains. And if you ever see those commercials where cars are driving around the mountains without the railing, that's true.
Oh, wow.
And so we were going, I think it was about 25 miles that we had to go. And I'll tell you what, we're driving, And I'm driving 25 miles because I've never driven in the mountains. I'm scared. My mom is talking about, do you want me to drive? And I'll turn around, no. And then she said,
how you going to change seats?
Right. And then she says, Regina, look up there. And I'm like, Mom, I cannot look up there. But out the corner of my eye, I can see a house at the top of a hill. And I can see the road going up like it's a hill. The house is right there. And then you go back down. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm still driving 25 miles an hour.
And it's getting dark.
And it's getting dark. We got down to the end of the mountain. All of a sudden, all these cars, and I hadn't realized all these cars were like in back of me. They come out of the off the mountain and go. Shoo, shoo, shoo. They were flying. So we drive a little way, and I said, Mom, I have nerves that are on fire. We have got to stop. So we got us a hotel. The next morning at breakfast, we ran into this couple, and they had the same story we had, except for they drove in the dark, and ours was in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. So if you were not in, if you were in remission, that would be enough to take you out of remission. The stress from that.
I think so.
Wow.
I really do.
And the neat thing is that when we're together, we have the ability to have fun too, even in the trying times.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So
right.
she has a great sense
just like
of humor.
when she drove me to Cleveland, it was an emergency eye appointment. And I'll tell you.
And she hadn't driven for how long?
20 years.
Look,
I had a thing over
On the
my
highway.
eye. Look, I'm telling you, I had a thing over my eyes. And she said, Regina, can't you see that? I said, Mama, can you see? Don't you know I can't see?
We just started laughing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
You have to find the moments to laugh.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that really made me very proud of Regina is when they asked her to speak.
This is in Cleveland.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so she said, oh, Mama, I don't know. I said, just tell your story. You know, you'll be fine. Oh, I just don't know about this. And so actually, I was so I went with her, and I was so proud of her. She got up and she told her story, and after that, lots of people came to talk to her and tell their story.
Wow.
And to applaud her for her tenacity. She hasn't allowed this disease to take her down. She said, I may have sarcoidosis, but it doesn't have me.
That's awesome.
That's my motto.
Yes.
Yeah. And it says in the word, you are overcome by your testimony. So by you sharing that with someone else, you never know what they're going to do.
Right.
How they're going to grow. How that's going to move someone.
That is so true.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much because your tenacity in contacting me. It's like, who is this lady? I don't know, but we're going to have a fireside chat together. So thank you so much. Yeah, I do.
Thank you.
What have we not shared about sarcoidosis that you would like to share?
That if you're ever on Facebook or you're looking on the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research, and if you really would like some really great information, attend one of the patient conferences. There is a patient conference that is coming up August 24th in Cincinnati, and you can find all that wonderful information on the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research page. And just so you all know, I will be there.
And wait a second, something awesome happened. What is this proclamation that was you were honored with here? Was it here in Fort Wayne?
It was here in Fort Wayne and for the state of Indiana.
Oh, it was for Indiana also.
Tell
me about that.
Well, what we do is so that we can have events and recognize sarcoidosis as a rare disease that it is. We write letters to the governors and to our mayors to see if they will acknowledge sarcoidosis, April as Sarcoidosis Awareness Month. And so far I have gotten it every year except for 2017. So I'm going to be working on that again this year.
So you have to reapply every year?
Yes, but there is also, and I can't think of what the name of it is, but there is a way that we can get it where we don't have to apply for it, that they recognize it every single year. So that's the next step that I'm going to be working on for the state of Indiana.
So you need a support group.
Yes,
you need
I
some
do.
People in your,
I need
because you can't do it all by yourself.
No, I cannot. And that's
what is it exactly, or have you even thought about that? What is it exactly that you need from a support group?
What I need from a support group is for them to want to be able to get out and stump on the grounds, to network, to help put on events, and to help educate others in this condition called sarcoidosis.
One of the things too that Regina's done, she checks out, she looks at what's going on in the community, and when they have forums, she usually has a table and she'll put her information out there, and it's helpful to have other people out there to assist.
Oh, there you go.
I know in terms of her support, I see a need of support, having run organizations myself, to have people on the board that have access to various medias, for instance, television, the radio, like yourself, who can help her get that word out. Because the key is, the more people know, the more funding can be gotten for the research so that we can find a cure for it. So, and so that they can stop seeing this as a disease that's not that serious. For a long time, they thought, that it wasn't that serious. They're finding out it's a very serious disease. Yes.
Absolutely, if it affects every other organ in your body.
Yes. And it's uncurable.
Right.
You can manage it with medications, but you cannot cure it. Oh. Like cancer, there's some cancers that you can cure.
Go ahead.
That's quite all right. It's like I was just saying, there are some cancers you can cure, but sarcoidosis you cannot.
Awesome.
At this point.
That is
correct. At this point. There you go.
Yes.
Wow. Well, ladies, I thank you so much.
We thank you.
Have we touched on everything? I think we've touched on quite a bit.
I think we touched on quite a bit, don't you?
I think so.
Final thought then, Miss Regina.
My final thought is, just know that you are not alone. We as ambassadors, or me as the co-founder for Sarcoidosis Fort Wayne Support Group, you are not alone. You come join us. We have fun. We sit. We talk. We're right here in the library. If our 1.5 hour meeting is done and over with, my whole Saturday is dedicated to you. If you just need me to talk to you.
There you go.
Thank you.
You have been listening to Speak Now with Gena, right here at 95.7 FM, WELT.